Hey,
Welcome back to my kitchen.
we're cooking again because it's the only kind of video that I'm going to be making for a while. Today we're going to deep fry a bunch of shit.
So last time I made jambalaya.
And I used shrimp, but they were the tiny, shitty frozen ones. And who cares about those? But today, my dad brought me some real shrimp. So we're going to fry them, and it's going to be delicious. And I'm very excited. Sorry to people who don't like raw meat. I just keep doing this to you. They're already headed and tailed because my dad's great. So all I'm going to do is peel and devein them, and I'm going to use a fork because it's super easy. I'll show you. I was at this girl's house in college, and her family was grilling, and they were doing bunch of jumbo shrimp, and I was helping her peel, and I grabbed a fork, and she was using her fingers, and she was like, "Oh my god, you use a fork to peel your shrimp?" And she called me a pussy, and then she saw that I was deveining the shrimp, and she was like, "Oh my god, that's so smart." And I was like, yeah, no shit. When people tell me that something I'm doing that is correct is not correct, I will remember it until I die. Is that maybe something to bring up in therapy? Perhaps. When I was a kid and we'd be making like big gumbos for the 9 of us, we would be peeling shrimp for 30 years at a time. It took a long time after I moved out to adjust to cooking for one person. So I used to eat up a lot of freezer space, or I'd eat nothing but macaroni for 12 days. I'm just gonna pre-season these. I've got these yellow squash from my mommy's garden that I've already washed, so I'm just going to peel them and slice them up. I usually like to roast my veggies, but if you're already deep frying something, you might as well deep fry all of it. So Kim's the only one that's posted something since my last one, right? I can never remember which videos Kim made for this channel and which videos Kim made for all of her other channels. But Kim, you're very cute, and I like your videos. That's all. Matt and Ro, I miss you. I've been watching Matt's game streams, Twitch streams, what do you call them? I don't know. But I let those play in the background while I do work during the day. It's like hanging out with a pal. And Morgan really said, go see a fucking waterfall, mic drop, and bounced, huh? We love it. Concise, effective. Honestly, no notes. I like to cut these a little bit thicker when I'm deep frying versus when I'm roasting. I don't like them to be very mushy, which is extremely out of character for me because I'm a baby and I like to eat baby food. But I'll let these be kind of thick boys. So this bitch, just gonna be an egg. Like that much milk. But for the dry coat, flour. And usually I just put Tony Chachere's, but I don't have any. I honestly don't know why I've been using my salt shaker. You know, an amount. There you have it. Hi, I know I'm probably not in focus, but I'm not going to put that much oil, but I'm using one of my taller pots because I don't want it to splash me. And I have oil again. I'm cooking with canola oil. Most people I know have an actual deep fryer, and I don't because I don't fry things that often. So I'm doing it on the stove, and it's a little bit harder to control the temperature. So you gotta pay closer attention, which I'm not great at. I think the only things that I deep fry are like beignets and chicken. And I don't do either super often. So I don't need a fryer. But sometimes your dad gives you the good shrimp. Next thing I'm making is hot water cornbread. Cornmeal. You guys want to see me or Sai in the bowl? We'll give you Sai in the bowl. Put about a cup of cornmeal. Where'd my salt go? Oh. A little bit of salt. Probably too much salt. Nah. A little bit of sugar. And the water's still heating up. Hot water cornbread has some various origins. Not really sure where it came from. In West Africa, they had something I think it was called kusha, which the Cajuns turned into couscous, which is like a fried cornbread dish. But Native Americans had their ash cakes or their fire cakes, where they'd take the dough, wrap it in a leaf, and then put it in the ashes or the coals of a fire and cook it that way. So cornbread was like West African. Guess how it got here? And I think the act of like cooking it outside of a dish was a Native American thing. But anyway, here's the hot water aspect of hot water cornbread. Be careful, it's hot water. And I'm going to put an itty bitty bit of canola oil in it. You can also put butter or shortening. Or nothing at all. Nothing matters. I don't buy paper towels, so I line the dish with some party napkins. So wash your hands. Test to see if it's hot enough. It ain't. If you've never fried anything, the egg wash just makes the flour mixture stick. And you can go flour, egg, flour, however many times you want, depending on how thick you want your breading to be. Sounds like the oil's ready. Hey, howdy, welcome back to the stove. Just make them about yay big. Don't burn yourself. They're gonna cook for about 5 minutes. If they're not submerged, you might need to flip them in the oil. These are my favorite, but I rarely make them because I don't have good things to fry. It's just not worth it. Because after this, you have to dispose of the oil. What are you gonna do with it? Great question. Dump it in a ditch? That doesn't sound right. If you have a garbage disposal, you can super duper dilute it with hot water and soap and run the garbage disposal the whole time and pour it very slowly. I don't have a garbage disposal. This really stupid guy I dated used to cook ground meat in my kitchen, and he'd put extra oil in the ground meat, which I don't know why. Ground meat makes so much oil. But anyway, so he'd have a bunch of oil left over in the pan, and I was like, hey, bud, what you gonna do with that? He's like, pour it down the sink. And I was like, no, you're not. So he literally took it outside and dumped it in my neighbor's plants. We all make mistakes, don't we? I'm talking about me. You can let them get a little bit darker if you want, but I like them about here. Might do them a little bit smaller so I have more because I was going to bring some to my mom and my sister. Did anyone read the American Girl series, Kit Kittredge? That was the one set during the Great Depression, and I remember they ran like an inn out of their house, and the mom would cut the toast into triangles to make it seem like there was more. And I really absorbed that. So, like, just make the food smaller, and it is more. That's just science. They also made dresses out of chicken feed sacks, and I still want one. Those are so hot, but I want to eat one so bad. Look at these sweet little angels. Got the squashes in now. Like, it's not pretty. Got a little lazier with doing the shrimp. Okay, but the shrimp are evenly coated. These boys only need to cook for like a minute and a half. Probably gonna do 30 seconds on each side. If you don't know how to drop stuff into a deep fryer, you can either lower it with a spoon or you put the tip in and then let it flop opposite you so it wants to splash away from you. And then you gotta do a jerk. The jerk is very important. Good thing these videos aren't monetized because none of that would have worked. You know, I'm moving like thousands of miles away from the Gulf. Good seafood won't be an option. I might be able to go full vegetarian. People who can be vegetarian after they've tried crawfish are way too powerful to stay alive. Hello, check out, we've got food. I never know if I should show you the food or my face. You probably don't care. Hell yeah. Oh dude, these are so good. 10 out of 10 squash time. Sorry for the exclusively cooking content, but all I do right now is work and cook. Next month, I should have so much more exciting content. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to jinx it. Is this a mukbang? Is a mukbang just a video of people eating, or does it have to be people eating to like absolute discomfort and then throwing up afterwards? I think the fullest I've ever been was when I was a kid and I discovered cream cheese and I ate an entire bread loaf of cream cheese toast. I actively wanted to die as I was shoveling in the last bites of the last piece of toast. It didn't stop me. I've also eaten an entire watermelon in one sitting. That one was just a good time. Next video, if I can finally find a bottle of tequila, I'm going to spike a watermelon and eat the whole thing. That sounds entertaining and safe and like a good idea. Okay, I'm going to pack up a box to bring to my mom. And the rest for Hannah. Hello, family.